The road to WrestleMania is completed, finished, done, finito, completiano. Just saying random words, but the road to WrestleMania is over. That can mean only one thing. This Sunday is WrestleMania. So welcome to the SmackDown review, the last review before WrestleMania. We've got previews, predictions, and lots of other videos to come throughout the week, but we're going to be digesting, analysing everything that took place on SmackDown for the March 28th edition of the show. And let's get right into it. We're going to be going in chronological order. Don't think this will be too long, mainly because there wasn't loads that happened on SmackDown. There were 4, 5, 6 sort of segments to talk about. I've got to be a little bit careful of what I say because I want to leave a lot to preview and predictions, etc. But let's get right into the review. Okie dokie then. So first up, we got Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles. Their contract signing. That's what we got first. And basically, McMahon came out. One of the members of the crowd. I didn't hear what they said, but I heard the crowd laugh. I heard AJ Styles smirk, and I thought, I wonder what was said there. So I had to turn it up really friggin' loud so I could hear. But what I heard was that when I turned it up, was that some fan chanted, said, "Shout out to Shane, your sister's hot." So that was unique, a unique element to the segment. But I thought Shane did well on the mic. He's never been a stellar mic worker, but he did decent. You know, he first sort of said, "You know what, AJ, I actually respect you, but I don't like what you've done. I don't like how you've got there. You're arrogant. You've gone about things in the wrong way. And at WrestleMania, I know no limits, and I'm going to give it my all type thing." That's not exactly what he said, but that's just kind of bringing it all together in about a paragraph. AJ Styles responded, basically saying to Shane McMahon, you do realise that you are in the ring with AJ Styles, a phenomenal one. You might have been in the ring with Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Kurt Angle, but you have never been in the ring with me. And this match is a singles match. There's no added stipulation. Now, we thought there might be. Lots of talk that there might be. There's not. This is a singles match straight up. That favours AJ Styles massively. But can Shane McMahon do something mad in a singles? We'll have to wait and see. Can he do it? I can't lie. I thought this segment was pretty good. And I know most people will shit on it, and that's fine. And I know I really should hate this feud, but I can't. Everything about it I should hate, but I don't, and I don't know why. I think it's because AJ Styles, to me now, is in the realms of anything he does, I will absolutely buy into, eat into. I'm that much of an AJ Styles fan. I love the guy. He can make anything awesome for me. He could put on a great match with a broomstick, for God's sake. I like Shane O'Mac too, and I've always liked Shane O'Mac. I wasn't around watching wrestling when he was, but the sort of stuff that I've gone back and watched, a lot of it was including Shane McMahon. And I used to think, when I was first getting into WWE, I used to go back and watch a lot of Shane O'Mac's work, and I just used to love him. And yeah, I never got to saw him like live until he returned, obviously, last year. But I did used to love the guy when I first got in. And the fact that he would do anything and knew no limits, I think really kind of, when I was really getting into wrestling, really sort of made me think, this guy, this man is bloody cool. This is, you know, a non-wrestler. This is a guy who is just a manager type thing, a kind of backstage type thing, and he is just doing the maddest things. And I don't think you can't help but have respect for Shane McMahon. What he has done over his career, the spots that he has done, the moments he has created have been unbelievable. You know, that last year, the spot of WrestleMania was just insane. He puts his body on the line. And I'm sorry, guys, but I'm not going to apologise for liking this feud, much the same as I don't expect an apology for any of you for not liking this feud. But I can't help the fact I like it. There's something about it that, for me, yeah, I'm thinking to myself, I'm enjoying it. I'm not going to lie. I'm enjoying this feud. This contract signing was very good. The only thing, the crowd kind of not really knowing who to root for. that's kind of storyline, a bit of a storyline failed there. The story should have been booked a certain way. It hasn't. It kind of twisted. But I still think the story's pretty good. And yeah, the Phenomenal One at WrestleMania should win. Has got to win. But I think Shane McMahon will look pretty strong, if I'm being honest with you. I think he'll look pretty strong. I mean, at the end of the day, the difficult thing about this feud is I really can't. If somebody who hates this feud and then there's me who likes it, and if we were to argue our points, I would struggle. I'd struggle to win the argument, but I can't help it. I just like it, and I don't know why. But moving on, so that was that, and now those that don't like Shane McMahon for AJ Styles, all you got to sit for is the match, which I'm still convinced is going to be a good match because I think AJ Styles put on a good match to anyone. So yeah, not a bad way to start the show. Although if you don't like AJ Styles, Shane McMahon, it would have probably been really, really boring for you. But anyway, then we moved on to Mickie James and Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss and Carmella. Well, actually, first we did get Carmella versus Becky Lynch. Then Mickie James and Alexa Bliss started attacking each other, got into the ring, disqualification, holla, 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 tag team match player. And yeah, we then got a tag team match between Mickie James and Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss and Carmella. Alexa Bliss and Carmella, the heels, getting the victory. Alexa Bliss, the champ, winning before WrestleMania. I had to actually think whether she's still the bloody champ. So them not getting the win, which would suggest the title could be changing hands at WrestleMania. We'll have to wait and see. Ellsworth helping out with the distraction. Why can't heel tag teams win? Why do heels always have to cheat? I mean, I don't mind when heels cheat because, you know, it's not cheating if you don't get caught. That's what I say. But at the same time, come on. They can win. How come? What I never understand, this is one of the logic fads, and this is why you can't really look at WWE and wrestling too logically, otherwise you'd never bloody watch a thing. But why, you know, if Carmella all of a sudden tomorrow decided to turn face, she'd all of a sudden start winning cleanly. Right now she can't win cleanly. I mean, you see what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Why can heels not win cleanly sometimes? And it's only big, good fucking heels that can. And that just frustrates the fucking hell out of me. But anyway, yeah, we're getting a match at WrestleMania. We still have no idea what the stipulation is, so that's interesting. It's on the pre-show. Not happy about that. We're getting a Pitbull Flow. I mean, seriously, Pitbull Flow Rider. Pitbull's brought out maybe one song I like. Actually, that wasn't his song. That was Chris Brown's song. Flow Rider brings out some catchy pop songs that kind of get on my tits after about a week. I mean, I don't want to see these perform at WrestleMania. This isn't wrestling song. This isn't wrestling music. Wrestling music is like what we saw in that absolutely freaking awesome video promo match package, whatever you want to call it, with Seth Rollins, Triple H. That's wrestling music. That is the sort of music that I want to see with wrestling. Now, I'm not really massive and a big, massive fan of the kind of typical what you would used to think of the WWE genre music, the rock, that sort of thing. I'm not a massive fan of that, but that was what made WWE unique. They had. Or it kind of was, when I listened to that style of music, it was in WWE, if you know what I mean, and I loved it. You know, some of my favourite theme songs, you know, you've got Punk's First One, The Fire That Burns, Drew McIntyre's Broken Dreams. There's so many. WWE songs used to be so good, theme songs used to be so good. They're so shit now. They're just generic sounds, they're just generic music. It's just, even Nia Jax's is terrible. You know, I just think they've lost the plot, and even the theme songs for WrestleMania, I don't mind that. I'm ready to go. I don't really mind that, to be fair, but come on, we could do better than this, for God's sake. Can we not just bring back the awesome themes? NXT has awesome themes. We need to bring back Raw and SmackDown. Sorry, WWE pay-per-views having awesome themes and superstars having awesome themes. The Raw theme song, I like that. I'm glad that they haven't gone to the pop point on that. I think it's a really, really good song. I've liked most of the Raw theme songs recently. Even the fucking Nickelback song. I quite like that. SmackDown, again, decent theme song for them. But, I mean, for God's sake, I don't want to see Pitbull and Flow Rider. People don't pay to go to concerts. This is WrestleMania. Put Pitbull and Flow Rider, if you've so got to have them fucking perform, put them on the goddamn pre-show. Nobody wants to see that. God. To think, there's probably people that are actually really looking forward to that. You're pathetic. We then got what was just from start to finish, some of the best television on WWE TV in 2017. And I know people probably criticise this, but people criticise everything in WWE. We all criticise stuff. So, you know, there's not ever going to be a segment that, or a match or anything like that everybody's going to love. I think that is what I've kind of worked out in WWE. Nobody's going to love everything. You know, some people would have loved the fact that Brock Lesnar got squashed by Goldberg at Survivor Series. Me, myself, I hated it. Some would have loved the fact that Goldberg come back and won the WWE Universal title, and he won it through Kevin Owens. I hated that. Some people will be absolutely and utterly pissed off with AJ Styles, Shane McMahon. I personally like it. You know, that's how it works. You're never going to have something that's unanimous. Yes, you're going to have something like the Shawn Michaels Undertaker match at WrestleMania 25 where the majority, 95%, say that was freaking awesome. But I guarantee if you ask people, wrestling fans, all day, what they thought of the Shawn Michaels Undertaker match, you're bound to find a couple that said, nah, story was pretty crap. The match weren't pretty either. Bit clunky. It's overrated. You're bound to find people that say that. So there's no way that something's going to be great. But anyway, back to this point. I realised I got a tit when I went through. Basically, I just thought when I'd finished fucking doing this video that I'd actually had forgotten to say about the fact that Naomi returned. So yeah, let's add that into this part. Naomi did make her return at the end of that segment. How the fuck I didn't mention that? I kind of in my head had already said about it, but obviously I didn't. Wow, she's over at the moment. I mean, honestly. She's like, the crowd were like fucking, I hate the Feel the Glow. Catchline, tagline, catchphrase, whatever you call it. I think it's shit. I like Naomi. I think she's a real good in-ring competitor. Amazing athlete. And yeah, I hope she wins at WrestleMania. We'll have to wait and see what I think about that. But she did return. And yeah, no, she was very much over. So yeah, no, great for her to return there. Did they waste this return at SmackDown? I don't think they wasted it. They could have waited till WrestleMania. It would have been a real good moment. But it's on the pre-show, so they probably thought, let's give it to you on SmackDown. Let's get you to want to watch the pre-show. The only other thing I also forgot to mention in the video is that there was nothing on Dean Ambrose and Baron Corbin on SmackDown, which is a little bit of a shame. But there is a Lone Wolf. Dean Ambrose looks to shut down the Lone Wolf pre-WrestleMania interview. That was on WWE Talking Smack. Still no word as to the fact that is not at the moment a street fight. So I'll continue to hope and pray, but at the moment it doesn't look that way. But yeah, if you want to check out that interview, make sure you do. It was a pretty good interview. So yeah, that's that. SmackDown is done, and you can get back to watching the review. So I just thought I'd add that in because I forgot about it. We saw total bullshit and its conclusion, and then John Cena coming out and cutting. Shit, I'm going to call it one of the best promos of his career. And some will moan Miz got buried, and some will say, the only thing that pissed me off is the fact that Miz didn't really get to respond. I suppose he can get to respond at WrestleMania, but that's been a lot of the case in this feud, is that Cena's had the last word. Cena and Nikki Bella have had the last word. I know they're the faces, but I would like to see Miz and Maurice perhaps respond to some of those things that John Cena was saying. This felt real as fuck. I genuinely believe these guys don't like each other. I mean, I don't know. I don't read dirt sheets because I just feel like it spoils the product. But I feel like they genuinely hate each other, and that's great. That's what I want to... Even if they don't, it doesn't matter. But because I feel like they do. And that's the whole point. This is why this is the biggest, best feud heading into WrestleMania. This is why, for all intents and purposes, for hype, for intrigue, for people talking about... This is probably the main event of WrestleMania when you think about it. It is the actual main event. It won't end the show, no doubt. There's lots of rumours about the conclusion of the match. I'm still a bit concerned about how the match will be, but so long as Miz and Cena carry it, Nikki Bella and Maurice maybe go ham on the outside, I don't think it'll be too bad at all. I want this feud to continue after WrestleMania, absolutely 100% between Cena and The Miz. But yeah, I mean, this was great. Total bullshit. I suppose total bullshit was Miz and Maurice getting in there side of events, and then Cena and Nikki Bella responded, so there wasn't really need for another response. So I can kind of see that. But I mean, Cena said so. I mean, Miz said some great things, taking the mick out of the fact that Cena still hasn't proposed. Calling their relationship fake, saying that Cena's this robotic person who basically just goes around, and it's Cena's world, folks. it's Cena's world, and that basically it's a showmance more than anything else, and that if Total Bellas and Total Divas didn't exist, John Cena would not be with Nikki Bella. No, just taking a mick about the fact that they don't have kids. I mean, this, again, I think this was even better than last week's total bullshit. I mean, the Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella thing was hilarious. It was a hilarious segment that got that real intensity right at the end, and they delivered and cut an absolutely perfect promo right at the end of it. Miz and Maurice did, and brought that realism, put the comedic side to the side, and said, look, this is what we truly believe. Cena, you're a fraud. Nikki, you're being used, type thing. And Nikki, you've used your power yourself. You've stopped Maurice getting into WWE. I mean, all of that feels goddamn real. I mean, there are some accusations. Cena said that Miz is using Maurice because he wants to get on Total Bellas. I mean, Cena hit the nail on. I think this is one of the best promos of his career. I genuinely do. Nobody can cut a promo in the style of John Cena. This was superb. I mean, if you watch that segment and don't feel excited for their match, there's got to be something wrong with you. I mean, this was friggin' brilliant. And I know some will say, maybe, I mean, reading here, if the shoe was on the other foot, Miz probably wouldn't be allowed to say that to Cena. Some of the stuff that Cena said to Miz. Miz wouldn't be able to say some of the stuff that Cena said to Miz to Cena, if you see what I'm saying. And I do get that point. But Miz is in a high-profile match at WrestleMania. His career is on the up. Win or lose at WrestleMania, this man's career is going up. And I want to see The Miz as WWE Champion by the end of the year. Because The Miz is awesome. Pardon the pun, but it was intended. Great segment, one that I will go back and watch before WrestleMania. I don't know if I told you this before, but I always go back on Thursdays, Fridays, and I go because that's when I'm in my real wrestling mood. I don't know why, but I feel like I've told this story before, so if I have, I apologise. But on Mondays and Tuesdays, Wednesdays, don't get me wrong, I was in a wrestling mood. I always get excited for Raw and that. But when I really want to watch wrestling, is Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. That's when I'm really fucking into. I don't know why. It's always the end of the week. So I always, on Thursdays and Fridays, go back and watch my favourite parts from Monday Night Raw, especially when it's a pay-per-view week, just get myself completely and utterly hyped. And a few hours before WrestleMania, I'll be watching some of these segments. I'll probably watch this segment 5-6 times come WrestleMania, to the point where I'll probably know it all off word by word. It's very, very sad. But anyway, let's move on. Not much more to talk about. Then they've got a 10-man tag team match, which I'm not going to lie, I didn't really pay much attention to. I feel like it was... I thought that Daniel Bryan said in the backstage segment that only two people, he only had 2 spots left. But maybe, maybe, I've just realised what I might have done here. I might be being thick. Maybe he said there's only 2 more spots in the 10-man tag match. He might have said that. I don't know. But anyway, all these 10 men, Chad, Gable, Jason Jordan, Mojo Rawley, Usos, Heath Slater, Tyler Breeze, Fandango and Dolph Ziggler, they are going to be in the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial. Someone says it's a waste of talent, but there's so much talent, it's impossible to get everybody in high-profile matches and everybody on the card. And it's only going to get even harder as years go by. It's almost impossible. And yes, Ziggler probably deserves to be on the card. Yes, American Alpha and the Usos probably deserve another tag match. But without WrestleMania being like already... I mean, it's already like fucking 100 hours long. It'd be like all year. I mean, by the time WrestleMania would finish, if you've got everyone on the card who deserves to be on the card in decent matches, it would be the next WrestleMania. I mean, it's that disastrous. So yes, you can look at it as a negative, but I also tend to look at it as a positive as well, that we've got so much talent in WWE now. And the fact of the matter is, I'm sorry, but there's no way you can fit everybody on the card. It's just not conceivably possible to fit them in high-profile matches on the card. So unfortunately, this has to take the, in this case, SmackDown's tag division has to take the kind of back seat. And has to be put in the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial. But there's some big names in the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial. And I know a lot of people feel like it's a pointless match. But you have to say, last year's winner, Baron Corbin, what a year he had after winning the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial. Is it going to happen again? If it does, then you start thinking, well, the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial does truly mean something. But this match wasn't too great. I didn't pay much attention to it, so I can't really comment on the match itself. But it was probably a typical 10-man SmackDown match. And yeah, I mean, on Bleacher Report, they're saying all deserve better. All will see roles roles wasted in the most insignificant match on Sunday's card. Well, it's either they're all in the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial card, Bleacher Report, or they're not on the fucking show. So I think they'd rather be at WrestleMania. Granted, they're for whatever reason not in a position to be on one of the big matches, but there's so many goddamn matches. There's only so many matches you can put on this show, and there's only so many spots you can have. I like the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial because it gives superstars that otherwise wouldn't be at WrestleMania a chance to be at WrestleMania, to have that WrestleMania moment. Okay, not literally a WrestleMania moment like we know it to be, but to be at WrestleMania, you know. I mean, hell, I'd take the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial at WrestleMania right now if somebody offered to me. I mean, come on, look, we've got to be realistic here. You can't have, if you've got 30 talented superstars, you can't have them all in significant matches. You know, you just can't do it. It's impossible, and I'm sorry, but that's just the reality of the situation. I don't know if you guys agree with me on that or not. We then got Luke Harper versus Bray Wyatt. Very, very good main event. I enjoyed it. Luke Harper's going to be an awesome singles competitor. Expect to see Bray Wyatt versus Luke Harper post-WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. Hint, hint, I think Bray Wyatt is going to win at WrestleMania. I fucking hope he wins at WrestleMania. I mean, I don't mind Randy Orton's this darker side. Bleacher Report's shitting on everything today, but fuck them, I don't really care. I don't always go on Bleacher Report. I often use other sites. It's basically, I need somewhere where I can go through, because I don't watch the show and write things down, because I don't really pay attention. I might write a couple of notes down, but basically I need basically it to tell me, right, this opened the show, this did this did that, this did this, so I can go through and chronologically do it. I could look at the Raw results. I usually look at, like, not the Raw results because it's SmackDown. On WWE.com, I could look at their results. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I use Bleacher Report. Sometimes I use, what's it called, Ringside.com. Sometimes I use fucking, I'll sit here with a fucking remote, fast forwarding through things. There's a variety of ways that I do it, but yeah, Bleacher Report is shitting on, well, not shitting on everything, but they're shitting on most things. But at the end of the day, it's not really Bleacher Report, it's one person who does this. And if they don't like it, they don't like it. So, I mean, they're giving this a C. I thought it was very good. I thought the match was great. Again, Harper's not on the show, but where? How can you get him on the show? Maybe the triple threat, but they chose for whatever reason not to do that. He's not going to be on the show. It's the same with Samoa Joe, and it is really fucking unfortunate, but there's not a lot you can do. You know what? Put another match. Luke Harper versus Samoa Joe. Then do Ziggler versus, I don't know, Apollo Crews. Then do American Alpha versus Usos. We're now up to like 16, 17, 18 matches. Well, that's just ridiculous. Even if you take out the fucking Pitbull Flow Rider match, concert thing, shit, whatever it's going to be, where I'm going to go for a shit, don't you worry about that. It's still not going to have enough fucking time. You're still going to be going into the early hours of the morning. Which, well, for me, that's going to be the case anyway, because that's where the fucking pay-per-view's on. But you're going to be going into literally, everybody will be getting up, where people will be getting up for work in the UK by the time fucking WrestleMania finishes. I mean, that will probably happen anyway, but that's beside the point. Anyway, I like how this feud's been building. I like that supernatural feel, I suppose. I can see 50-50. I can see why you wouldn't like this. I can see why you'd like it. I personally like it. Again, we've got to understand that this is a show and that we can't take things too seriously. But I buy into Bray Wyatt's character. I think because he's been consistent for so many years, I really have bought into his character. I believe what he says. I believe in Sister Abigail. I realise that sounded retarded when I said it out loud. But look, when you watch wrestling, you've got to be a kid. You've got to... You can't always just think, well, everything's scripted, everything's this and that. Otherwise, you can't watch the show like that. You know, you've got to become a fan and kind of sit back and just... Yeah, and that's what I try and do as much as I can. Sometimes you can't, but you know what I mean? And I think that this has been a great feud. I enjoyed the last kind of promo at the end. It's got me pumped for the match. The match at WrestleMania was very, very good. We've got a couple of great segments out of this feud. This feud has been knocking along very, very nicely. SmackDown's a very good show. It wasn't stunning, but a very good show. Follows in their path of putting out decent shows week in, week out. There's only been really one bad show on SmackDown for fucking months now, and that was a couple of weeks ago. I can't actually remember it because it was so shit, but that was a poor show. But everything else, it's just been pretty good. Yeah, there's always and I think it's because there's not a lot of filler. I mean, I suppose there was this week. That 10-man tag was been a filler because they didn't have too much to do, too much else to do. But there's not much filler. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's it for the SmackDown preview, review even. Fucking hell, I want to talk about fucking preview. Previewing SmackDown for next week. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? So, Bray Wyatt retained the title, I think. Anyway, that is it. Thanks for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please like. I'll be back with more videos on the WrestleMania week on the MrWWEcam channel. Until next time, have a bliss day, as Alexa Bliss would say. That was fucking cringy as fuck. Fuck my life.